Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to start today with a question. Have you ever had that moment, maybe it was at work, maybe it was at home, maybe it was in a relationship, where you looked at everything you were giving, everything that you were putting into your home, your work, your relationship, everything you were holding together, and you just thought, why am I doing this? What am I even getting out of it? Actually, that is a great question. What are you getting out of it? And is it something that you want anymore? So, not in a dramatic, throwing things away, but in a quiet, exhausted, I have nothing left to give and no one even noticed kind of way. For over 15 years, I lived in that space. I think as women, a lot of us do. I was an RN. I cared deeply about my job, about doing good, about being the best, about being the one who showed up, physically, mentally, spiritually. I poured that same energy into family and relationships. And a lot of it, honestly, was unfulfilling, both personally and romantically. And I was giving and giving, and somewhere along the way, you lose track of yourself. And what that starts to feel like is burnout. And you're like, am I burnt out? What is happening? Who am I anymore? So it's pure and simple, and a very, very low tolerance for everything. So, but what I didn't know then, that burnout, that low tolerance wasn't a sign that I was broken, that I didn't have anything left to accomplish. It was just an indication, a signal of my body, my hormones, and my spirit that, something had to change. And it was changing. It was going to change without me or not. So that signal is what we're talking about today, because for so many of us in this age group, in perimenopause, in menopause, that signal gets amplified, and the estrogen that helped us to be nurturers, the caregivers, the yes people, the I'll shoo it under the rug, it starts to drop. And when it does, we finally have the clarity to ask the questions we've been too busy to ask, because that voice is just way too loud and it won't stop. So if you are in that place where the old ways of giving are crumbling and you're not sure who you are without them, you developed a whole life around them, then stay with me. This video is for you. So let's talk about estrogen for a moment. What is physically happening? For most of our adult lives, estrogen has been like that ultimate nurturing CEO of our bodies. Think of it as the hormone equivalent to a warm hug, more understanding, maybe looking the other way, a home cooked meal, or a perfectly organized calendar. We all love those. It's the let me take care of everything and everyone hormone. It helps us to build communities, nurture our families, and anticipate the needs of others before they even knew they had them. So, for years, many of us have been the ultimate multitaskers, the caretakers, the ones who make sure everyone else has their oxygen masks on first, even if we're suffocating. So, and then we're often running, on fumes ourselves. But then comes this change, perimenopause, and estrogen, our faithful, nurturing CEO, starts to put in her resignation. She checks out a little bit. She starts working from home, taking more days off, and eventually she's just not in the office anymore, either mentally or physically. And here's the crazy, beautiful, and often messy part: as that nurturing hormone declines, so does our innate, almost automatic desire to nurture everyone else. Not saying that it stops completely, but it's not that we become cold or unloving. It's that chemical drive that fueled our endless giving is quieting down. And when the chemical drive quiets, the truth can finally speak. Yes. For the first time, you may have the energetic and emotional space to look at your endless to do list, all the emotional labor you perform, and think, wait a second, why am I doing all of this? Is this even mine to do anymore? Physically, the drop in estrogen is responsible for hot flashes, night sweats, anxiety, joint aches, heart palpitations. It can feel like your body is rebelling against you. And mentally, it's the brain fog, the forgetfulness, the feeling of where did I put my keys? What is your name? And where did my train of thought? And spiritually, this is the big one. Spiritually, it feels like the veil has been lifted. The cloak of I must please everyone is removed. And you're standing there kind of raw, seeing your life with some clarity when you allow yourself. And then the people around you, the ones who benefited from your nurturing CEO, they start to notice this. They see you setting a boundary, maybe saying no to things that drain you, or not jumping up to fix everything for everyone. And they're like, what's wrong with her? What? She's crowing crazy. Did you see her face when I asked her to? Or are you, they might ask you, are you going through something? You just seem different. And a well meaning but clueless person might even whisper, she's acting a little crazy. And all you can think in your newfound clarity is, yeah, I'm seeing a lot more clearly. I have started to realize some things, and I have, for the first time, my needs are on the list, like my true needs. And you know what? That's not crazy. That's clarity. That's not a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. It's transformation. So here's the thing, gaining that clarity can be overwhelming at first, especially when you're starting to tap more into your intuition, that voice, or guidance, or God, whichever direction you feel. And when that nurturing energy turns inward for the first time in decades, it can feel really foreign. We're so used to caring for others that we've forgotten how to care for ourselves. The very idea of putting our own max oxygen mask on it first can feel very selfish. And people may call us selfish, but it's not, it's survival. And I know this, I've lived it for years, and leaving the nursing career and stepping out to those unfulfilling dynamics, it didn't happen because I had it all figured out. It happened because I was so burnt out and didn't recognize myself anymore that I finally had to listen. And that's when I found Eastern medicine, a path that actually saw me. I recognized myself as a whole person and not just a set of symptoms. So, this is exactly why I created the 7-minute guided meditation just for this moment. It's linked down in the description. It's called The Simple Why. And I want you to think of it as a gentle way to support yourself during the massive transition. There is a free guide that also gives you why this helps your neuroregulation, the vagus nerve, everything. Um, this isn't just a relaxing break, it's a deliberate practice designed to help you catch up with your own shifting needs. So here's how it works. Part one is the neuro calming your system. The first half of the sequence is all about sending safety signals to your newly revealed raw nerved self. We start with a technique called the psychological sigh, a double inhale followed by a long exhale. This is the fastest known way to lower your heart rate and tell your nervous system, hey, the fight or flight is over. We're safe. It's not a long 10, 20 minutes, transition. It literally presses down the calm down button on all that internal static. Then we move to rooted grounding. We focus on feeling of your feet on the floor or imagining strong roots growing from you into the earth. This tells your brain's alarm centers that you are stable and physically supported. It's incredibly effective for reducing that free floating anxiety that often comes with this hormonal shift. The result is that you move from feeling scattered, overwhelmed, or numb to a state of regulation. You feel steady, present, and back into your body. We have to create that quiet space, and we have that power within us to do that. You have to create that space before we can truly listen to what our intuition or our soul is now free to say. So once your system is calm, the rest of the meditation holds space for you to just be. It's in that quiet that you can start to hear your own voice, not the voice of the caregiver, you should do this, or this voice that we've created over time that maybe came from our family or friends or spouse or partner. It's not the voice of the burnt out woman or the it's a voice that's asking, what do I need now? So, if you're in that place of transition where the old you is fading and the new clear eyed you is emerging, please go do this for yourself. Click on the link below, take 7 minutes, put your own oxygen mask on. It's not selfish, it's essential, and it's important. I would love to know in the comments how you felt, if you felt a shift, and that moment where the nurturing just ran out and the questions began. Or maybe you're in the thick of burnout like I was, wondering what's on the other side. So let's talk about it. We're in this together. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you again soon.